There comes a day, quiet and unannounced, when you stop seeing someone the way you used to, not because they changed, not because they did something dramatic, but because you finally opened your eyes and saw them as they actually are, not as the version you built in your head. We do this more than we admit. We meet someone, and within days, we've already written a story about who they might become to us. We fill in the gaps with hope. We take a few kind words, a few good moments, and we stretch them into a whole personality. We convince ourselves that this person is patient, when really we've just never seen them tested. We convince ourselves they're loyal, when really we've just never watched them under pressure. We are not falling for the person. We are falling for the potential we imagined inside them. This is what romanticizing really is. It's not love, it's projection. It's taking your own longing for safety or attention or meaning and placing it onto someone else's face. And the tragic part is, the person themselves often has no idea how much weight they're carrying in your mind. They're just living their life, being average, being human, while you've quietly cast them as the hero of your story. For a while, this feels beautiful. There's a certain comfort in believing someone is more than they are. It gives you something to look forward to. It makes ordinary conversations feel meaningful. It makes waiting for a reply feel like anticipation instead of anxiety. But underneath that comfort, something is being ignored. Reality. And reality has a patient way of catching up with us. The day you stop romanticizing someone is not a sad day, even though it might feel like one at first. It is the day your mind finally agrees to see what your intuition already knew. Maybe it's a small moment, a careless comment, a promise broken without guilt, a pattern you had been quietly forgiving for months. And suddenly the illusion doesn't hold anymore, not because you stopped caring, but because you stopped lying to yourself. This shift is not about losing faith in people. It's about gaining faith in your own perception. For a long time, many of us were taught that loyalty means ignoring red flags, that patience means excusing repeated disappointment, that love means seeing the best in someone, even when the best is nowhere in sight. But there is a difference between seeing someone's potential and refusing to see their actions. Potential is a possibility, actions are proof, and no one should be loved only for what they could be, while what they are goes unnoticed. When you stop romanticizing someone, you are not becoming cold or bitter. You are becoming accurate. You start to notice how they treat people when nothing is expected of them. You start to notice consistency instead of charm. You start to ask yourself, would I still admire this behavior if a stranger did it to someone I love? These are not cynical questions. They are honest ones. And honesty, even when it stings a little, always brings clarity. This clarity often changes your relationships completely. Some people you thought were essential to your life quietly become optional. Some conversations you used to overanalyze suddenly feel unimportant. Some silences that used to hurt you stop meaning anything at all, because you finally understand they were never as significant as you made them. And here is the deeper truth hidden underneath all of this. The real work was never about the other person. It was about learning to sit with reality without needing to decorate it. It was about realizing that peace does not come from believing someone is perfect. Peace comes from accepting people exactly as they show up, without needing them to be more just so you can justify how much you gave them. This is not a lesson in distrust. It is a lesson in self-respect. Because the moment you stop romanticizing people, you start extending that same honesty to yourself. You stop romanticizing your own patience as endless. You stop romanticizing your own forgiveness as unconditional. You begin to understand your limits, your worth, and your standards, not as walls, but as forms of self-awareness. So if you find yourself today quietly seeing someone clearly for the first time, don't rush to feel sad about it. This is not the end of hope. This is the beginning of honesty. And honesty, even when uncomfortable, is always the foundation. Good relationships are built on. If this made you pause and think, even for a moment, that's exactly what this channel is here for. Subscribe if you want more reflections like this, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd genuinely like to know what stood out to you.